Politics, culture, carbon, all wired to the same chain. Every cup of curd is heat in the air. Every block of butter is a forest repair. It's not a small habit, it's a planetary affair. Put out the fire. Put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is our hour. Energy fixes half the hurt, Dr. Rao made that clear. But food fixes the other half, the half that's burning here. Change the plate, change the land, change the future's atmosphere. Put out the fire. Put out the fire. Metafoodians unite, this is your choir. Every millet, every fruit, every sapsy, every bean is water on the wildfire of a world we've never seen. Every oil-free bite is a river turning clean. This is not perfection, it's direction, not pressure but protection. A week of choices can cool a generation. A company's courage can ignite a nation. Put out the fire. Ooh, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. Metafoodians unite, Metafoodians ignite, sharing love in the metazone, light in the path to a cooler home. Put out the fire. Ooh, put out the fire. Together we rise, together we inspire.
Welcome to the Planet B podcast, where truth, transformation, and faith converge. Join us as we flip the script on ecological despair, guided by Dr. Sailesh Rao's vision for a compassionate, rewilded vegan world. Let's begin the journey to the greatest transformation in human history.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 10, How Humans Belong in Nature. Let's start with the beautiful quote that you highlight at the beginning of chapter 10 about love.
Yeah, sure, it's from Brené Brown, and she says, we are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love and to belong. We are designed for love. And we're designed for belonging. And that to me was a very insightful statement that she made. It's true. It's only when we are loving, when we love the earth, when we love others, that we feel happiest.
When we feel that love, we feel included. We feel that we belong. And that goes back to, Dr. Rao, how do humans belong in nature?
Yeah, and that's the entire subject of this chapter. We begin by noticing that our superpower is that we can start fires, okay, at any time. So we can start fires. We started fires by, rubbing two stones initially. And the original fires that we started are still burning, right? So we have just taken that and we continued that with matchsticks and all kinds of things. But it's ultimately starting fires is our superpower. And you observe what we have done over the last 10,000 years is that we have maintained the temperature on Earth. So the Holocene era is supposedly this remarkable era where temperatures stayed constant. Professor William Ruddiman pointed out the temperature stayed constant because of human beings starting fires and burning down forests. And, all that increased the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere, made it stay constant at 280 parts per million. And that's how we stabilized the temperature. Our ancestors did that. And then over the last 200 years, we have used science to come up with technologies. And with that technology, we are now able to measure. We are able to now recreate the past. So we understand that this is really what happened. And we have increased the temperature now by 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. And now there are signals from nature saying, danger, danger, danger. Don't go any further. So we are being called to restore the temperature back to what it was 200 years ago, because we know in the system that was a stable state. Because we were able to maintain it for 10,000 years without doing much, So it's a stable state, so we should be able to bring the temperature back to that setting and stabilize it and maintain it there forever. So we belong as the thermostat species of the planet. It's our job to create homeostasis for planet Earth and maintain that homeostasis. Okay? That's our superpower. That's our role. That's how we belong in nature. It's a conclusion you draw just from the data and the science. Now that we know that we can impact the life support systems of the planet, we have no choice but to stabilize the life support systems of the planet and maintain them forever. Okay? So we are like technicians who have to maintain something. We are the maintenance man, of the maintenance species of the planet, right? So it's not the boss of the planet. It's not an underling of the planet. No, you have a role to play, just like the elephant has a role to play.
That goes kind of into and you highlight this in chapter 10, the true meaning of Homo sapien.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about that?
The true meaning of Homo sapiens is the wise hominid. Okay. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to make sense of knowledge and adapt accordingly. A wise species will understand that we have a role to play and we have to now transform ourselves, transform our civilization, organize around fulfilling that role. So that's what a wise species would do. And I've never met a wise person going around saying, look, I'm so wise.
So true.
To me, calling ourselves Homo sapiens itself is a sign that we are immature.
That makes sense.
We were immature when we called ourselves that. And a mature species would not go around calling itself, look, I'm wise. I believe that calling ourselves Homo sapiens is a sign that we were scared that we didn't belong. And so we are now, we were saying we are the wisest, the most intelligent. We are superior to all these other species. So this is our playground. We can do whatever we want. All these notions, all these stories we told ourselves is now being called into question. Okay. Over the last 30 years, we have understood the planetary scale impact of our civilization and how we now need to play a role in the future. And that role is to be the thermostat species, whether we like it or not. We can't say, oh, I don't want that role anymore. You're stuck. Right? This is why I call nature the perfect system design. Because once you realize that's your role, you have to play that role. If you don't, nature says, all right, I'm done. You have another planet to go to? No, you don't have another planet to go to. You have to stabilize the temperature here and maintain it in the stable state forever, because we don't know whether there is a stable state at a higher temperature level. We don't know. It could become the Venus syndrome. And this is what Jim Hansen said. Jim Hansen said, if you take all the fossil fuels we have in underground and burn it, the Venus syndrome is a dead certainty.
And what does that mean, the Venus syndrome?
The Venus syndrome is, he did his PhD thesis studying Venus. Why is Venus, our sister planet, roughly the same size, roughly getting the same amount of sunlight as the Earth? Why is Venus at surface temperature so high? So it is 460 degrees Celsius, the surface temperature on Venus. Okay. In his PhD thesis showed that it's that high because all the carbon, all the CO2 on Venus is in the atmosphere. So the atmospheric CO2 level is so high that the greenhouse effect is amplified, and the surface temperature on Venus is 460 degrees Celsius. So that's his thesis. And so if you take the same approach on Earth, if you take all the fossil fuels and burn it up, then the CO2 level in the atmosphere will go so high that the surface temperature on Earth will go out of control. Okay.
Right.
So, and he's claiming that he could reach Venus type levels. I mean, nothing lives, I mean, you're in an oven.
Right. In chapter 10, you also highlight that in our current state, humanity now must shift away from disrupting the life support systems of the planet and become truly responsible for stabilizing the climate. So become the true wise beings that we should be. How can we move into that planet B, the climate cooling?
Well, it first begins with transforming ourselves. So I'd say transform yourself, transform our world, right? So it begins by acquiring humility. You're part of something much, much more intelligent than you thought. And she has been using us. We think we have been using her. No, she's been using us to stabilize the climate on Earth. And understandably so, because the Earth is at the inner edge of the habitable zone around the sun. It's not like you can do whatever you want and life will somehow come back. Life is quite fragile. So she's like a middle-aged planet, who potentially could die. She's saying, okay, now I want a few more years. In her case, few more years is few 100 million years of more life. Okay. And how do you do that? Well, you have to stabilize the climate. You need to get some active feedback going so that even as the Earth gets closer and closer to the inner edge, you're able to stabilize it and maintain the temperature, maintain the climate for life to thrive. Okay? And it's not that hard to do. Basically, you can coast, at the temperature that was there 200 years ago. You can literally coast, but you have to be in alignment with nature. You cannot go and disrupt the life support systems of the planet. You have to let the life support systems stabilize themselves. And if they're not stable right now because we have already pushed them beyond the point of no return, then we have to figure out how to pull them back. That's the next step in the transformation that needs to happen. And once we do that, we can basically maintain it for as long as we want. Right? So it's our job. It's like you are a technician who has to maintain the AC in a home. So we are like that technician, who has to maintain the life support systems on planet Earth. That's our role.
It's very interesting to think of it like, because the thermostat species is the one that can move it in either direction if needed.
You can, but you have to do that within the stable zone of the life support systems of the planet. Right? Because that's the primary thing. The planet's systems are the primary thing. And our role is secondary.
Right.
Okay. So it's not like we know there is another stable state that we can just pull the thing to and leave it there. No. Right. We have no clue.
Yeah.
Okay. We do know that for 10,000 years it was stable at that state. So this is why I'm suggesting in the solutions to restore the ecosystems that used to be there 200 years ago, because you're trying to get back to that state. Okay? Because that's a stable state that we know, right, in the system. I mean, these are complex nonlinear systems, and they may have another stable state somewhere else, we don't know, maybe at much lower temperature. That's a stable state, because that's between the glaciation and the interglacial period. It was toggling between the two, right? So there may be another stable state like 10 degrees Celsius cooler than where we are now. But then, most of North America, most of Northern Europe would be frozen.
Right.
and nothing could live there. So it's a stable state with very low quality of life. So this is a stable state with a high quality of life, and everyone can thrive. And I think this is where we need to bring the thermostat setting and maintain it. So first is to understand that we belong as a species. There is a role for us, number one. And number two, we have been already doing that for the last 10,000 years, unknowingly, right? Or maybe even knowingly, we don't know. Maybe our ancestors knew and we forgot because we got more and more separate from nature. But there is nothing in the written record saying that our ancestors knew that. So I'd say first is acquire humility. You're not the wise. What we call ourselves. And I'm proposing that we adopt Judy Carman's Homo Ahimsa as the name for humanity. So it's not talking about a characteristic of how wise we are, but to other beings. So we are here to stabilize the climate and maintain it, and the animals can come and complain to us. This is not good. Go fix this.
No. Yeah.
So we are serving the animals
Mm.
in that sense, right? And I think that's a great way to live, where you're in service to other life. You're not the boss of other life that you can go do whatever you want. You're in service to others. So it begins with that sense of humility. And of course we have to maintain this, which means that we may have to do mining and things like that, but on a very small scale, just to maintain. So once you have an objective, and we have an objective now as a species, then you can design systems to meet that objective with the minimum amount of resources extracted from the planet. And all our children, they all should be taught that this is our objective.
Right.
So this is why I say that the education system needs to change first. So we have to transform the education system so that we are teaching our children our true role as the climate regulating thermostat species of the planet.
All right. And that goes into the acronym vegan.
Yeah. Vegan is vitally engaged guardians of animals and nature. In a way, guardian also means that you have more power over the animals, which you do. But a guardian should not be abusing those that they're responsible for. Okay.
Right.
So it's about taking care of them. It's recognizing
Okay.
that we have the technology to kill them off too.
Yeah.
So when you have that kind of power, it comes with responsibility in the system.
Yeah. You mentioned kind of the true purpose of governance as well.
True purpose of governance is to protect and cultivate the health and vitality of the planet and all its inhabitants for generations to come. And this is Dr. Shelley Ostroff who said that. That's the only legitimate purpose of governance. The purpose of governance is not to raise children in order to exploit them. Basically, we teach them incorrect science, like the protein myth and the calcium myth and so on, in order so that they start eating the wrong foods. So putting candy at eye level, deceiving them into consuming foods that are bad for them so that they get sick, so that they can be customers for the pharmaceutical industry. That is not the purpose of governance. Because there the assumption is that the purpose of governance is to ensure that corporations can increase their profits and the economy can grow. Okay,
Right. So that goes back to economic growth.
right. That goes back to economic growth as the optimization criteria. And you say you don't need to do that. The only legitimate purpose of governance is to protect and cultivate the health and vitality of the planet and all its inhabitants for generations to come. we all have to agree on that. That's the only legitimate purpose of governance. And once we agree on that, then we can say, why are we organized like this? So we're asking fundamental questions about the system and then answering them as to how you would do this. So Mother Earth has singled us out and tagged us. Say, you're it. Initially there were lots of hominids. We had lots of cousins. And we are the ones who won. We tussled with them, we killed them off, or we probably even intermarried with them, and we are all intermingled right now. So we are the species that knows how to control fire. So which means we are it.
A lot of people, they believe that planet Earth would be better off without our species here, without humanity. What is your perspective on that?
I use always the magic wand experiment. Okay? And this is something that my advisor taught me to do when I was doing my PhD. He said, take whatever you are proposing and simplify it and see, does it make sense? Okay? If it makes sense, then it likely is true. So then you can proceed further. If it doesn't make sense, don't even bother with your hypothesis. Throw it away, right? Start another one. And so it's a quick and dirty way of analyzing things. So I start with the magic wand experiment. Assume that I wave a magic wand and all 8 billion human beings disappear off the face of the earth. What happens to the earth? Number one, if you disappear, all of our power plants, everything will stop operating. So which means we'll stop burning fossil fuels right away. And when you stop burning fossil fuels right away, the cooling gases will disappear right away within 2 to 3 weeks. And when the cooling gases disappear, the earth will heat up by 50% to 87%, as we just discussed in the last few chapters, right?
Right.
So the earth will heat up right away. You will get a lot more these fires and so on. So it's not clear whether it will stabilize. So it could be that the temperature will increase and increase and increase and get amplified to a point where the Venus syndrome becomes a dead certainty. Again,
Right.
because all the methane that's in the permafrost will melt. Permafrost will melt, the methane will just come out, and that will heat up the earth even more. And so there are lots of positive feedback loops that come into play. Okay? So it's likely that the earth could become Venus. So we don't know. Potentially, the earth heats up and the North Atlantic current stops and Europe cools, and then you get a lot of ice on top of Europe, which reflects sunlight back, and the earth could stabilize. We don't know. Okay, but again, this is an experiment that you don't want to run.
No.
And the animals are saying, don't run that experiment. So we need you. So basically, I say we have to know that we have a role to play, and we have to take on the responsibility for playing that role, instead of saying, we are better off with not being here. The earth would be better off with human beings not here, right? We don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really well said too, and important, because it's, some people, they feel like there is no role, but it's very clear how important the human role is on planet B and as the thermostat species.
Yeah. So a species that has power over the life support systems is a species that's going to maintain the life support systems and stabilize it. So this is how Mother Earth is building homeostasis for herself. She gave us all homeostasis, right? We can go to a colder climate or a warmer climate and maintain the same body temperature. Right? So that allows us to be flexible in an environment that's changing. So we can migrate from place to place and still survive. And she says, I want that for myself too, because the sun is getting bigger and bigger. It's getting warmer and warmer. So help me stabilize the climate. And she tagged us and said, you're it. You're the species that's going to do this. So we are the species that knows how to create technology. We are the species that has access to science. We can figure out the outer truth, so systematically through science. So using all that, you have to maintain the life support systems. And I think it's an obvious role that's right there in front of us, right?
And the exciting one too.
It is. It is. So teaching children that, first of all, right? So that everybody understands that this is a role we have to play. And if you don't play that role, well, things are going to get worse and worse and worse, and you die off, right?
Yeah.
That's not a future I want to give to my children and grandchildren.
No,
Yeah. So
definitely
you
not.
begin with that. Help them understand that we all belong exactly as we are. And we have a role to play, and we have to organize around that role. And education is to help you organize around that role.
Hmm.
It's like you're going to technical training college on a planetary scale. So we have to understand who we are serving. This is why education should be around the other species who are part of the earth.
All right, not just our own history and these types of things.
Right, yeah. Our education system is so messed up
Hmm.
compared to what we need to be on planet B. So planet B education system, you will understand the other beings that you're serving. Who are your neighbors in this ecosystem that you're in? And how do you bring that back? And how do you help them thrive?
Hmm.
Because when they thrive, you thrive with them.
Yeah. It's not complicated. It's just, it does take that systematic change, though, to move things onto this planet B way.
Yeah. Any system has to be built on the right foundations. And what do I mean by right foundations? The foundations have to be in alignment with nature.
Hmm.
See, engineering is about building products that are in alignment with nature.
Right.
Because if they're not in alignment with nature, they won't work. So engineers always say, Mother Nature said that's not correct. Okay, we have to fix it. Right? And Mother Nature is our final boss that says your product works or doesn't work.
That's a good way to look at it.
It is. Right?
Yeah.
So if things are stable, then your product will work. So you designed a stable system within the current environment.
Hmm. That's beautiful. And this goes into a quote that you shared towards the end of chapter 10, which is, whatever we focus on and highlight amplifies in the universe.
Correct.
Why do you feel like that was so important in this chapter that really relates to how we belong in nature?
But whatever we focus on and we talk about it, then others hear what you're saying. If they agree with that, they've spread that. So when you focus on something and you say it out, you act with that focus, you amplify that in the universe. So the universe
So
is a
true.
great amplifier, right? So this is why if you focus on all of our negative impacts and you keep saying that, and that gets amplified. Everyone says, oh, we are negative, we have to get rid of this, we get rid of ourselves and so on. So you tell a story, that story gets amplified. So you have to tell a positive story of humanity so that gets amplified. And when that gets amplified, then people say, oh yeah, we know we belong because of this. And therefore, we are going to transform ourselves to be in alignment. So it becomes like, oh, this is the next step we have to take
Right.
as humanity, right? That's the next step forward towards thriving. This is what we wish each other, right? When a joyous new year, every year we wish others a joyous new year. And all I'm saying is that I'm not only wishing, I'm actually showing you how to do it. So how to systematically get to a joyous new year by year, right? So it has to be done systematically. Systems engineering is about finding solution space and then finding the optimum solution within the solution space and so on. It's about understanding systems and understanding how to make systems accomplish a desired objective. See, initially, I was thinking, why am I working on this? Why am I supposed to figure this out? Then I realized this is my job.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what my granddaughter told me. Do your job, right? She said, do your job. And my job is to figure out the solution space for the problems you're facing and the optimum solution within that solution space. And within that framework, I'm saying I have not seen anything that would come close to this vegan rewilding solution. Help the planet go vegan so that we are all taking care of our own health, and rewild the planet so that we can restore the ecosystems that used to be there 200 years ago, and we can maintain that. And that is the only way that I see to stabilize the life support systems of the planet and to maintain them into the foreseeable future. And of course, you're going to see some effects that we haven't understood, and as we come across those, we have to solve them. So it's not like we already know the solution for everything that is going to happen for the next 10,000 years. No, it is adaptive. You have to maintain this forever. In a way, it reminds me of the internet communications work that I was doing as well. When two chips talk to each other, they have to first figure out the channel that they're on. Okay, both sides have to figure out the channel that they're on. And then once they figure it out, the channel will adapt. Channel will change. Because there'll be new radio stations that come on, new TV stations that come on, new signals that come on and interfere with your channel. And the channel has to adapt. Or the temperature will increase, or the temperature will decrease. The channel has to adapt. So if your internet connection is constantly on, thank an engineer who figured out how to maintain that as the channel adapts.
Yeah, very cool. In this chapter, as we close out chapter 10, you talk about how important it is to shine our light. At this time, we are encouraged to shine our light. What do you mean by that, shining our light?
We have to amplify this new story. So we have to recognize that we belong and get better so that everyone wants to know, what is it that makes you tick? Because they see us being happy and confident and working towards a brighter future. This compassionate science behind us. So shine, go out there, don't hide, and tell this new story of human belonging in nature, how we belong as the thermostat species, how we belong as Homo ahimsa, and that there is a path to a thriving future on this planet for all of us. And it begins with kindness to all life. Right? And it's a great way to live.
It's the best way.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to live in a way where you have to kill animals in order to survive? That is what we were taught. You have to kill animals in order to survive. Or you have to exploit animals in order to survive. And I'm saying, we know that's not true. because I've been alive now for almost 18 years as a vegan. I've tried to not exploit animals at all for anything. Even my clothes are not made with animals. My shoes are not made with animals. And I don't eat any animals. So I've been living a vegan lifestyle for the last 18 years. And I'm healthier and happier and stronger than I ever used to be. I used to have arthritis at the age of 40, for heaven's sake. I was hobbling around without a pill. If I didn't
now you're doing
Now
you're doing 6-minute planks.
Yeah, I'm doing 6-minute planks. Yeah, so it's you have to be on that upward spiral of greater and greater health, defying age, right?
All right. And it shows too. It doesn't matter what age you are, where you're at, or any of these things. It's once you start moving this direction, it's all benefit.
Yeah, it's all benefit, and and I don't mind dying also. So it's only when you're not afraid to die that you really begin to live.
So true.
When my usefulness is over, please take me. I'm done,
Mm.
right? But as long as I'm useful, I'm going to be here. So if you're still alive, that means nature says you're still useful. She has
So true.
something for you to do
Yeah.
because nature is the perfect system design. So begin with that. Okay, begin with that total faith in the perfection of nature.
Yeah. That's so beautiful, Dr. Rouse. So I think that's a good way to kind of close out the episode. As we move into our next episode, we'll talk more about why human beings throughout history scientifically, it's scientifically proven that we do belong in nature, and we have for a very, very long time. So we look forward to getting into that in the next episode. And Dr. Rao, would you like to share any closing message with our audience today?
Thank you all. It's my privilege to be on this journey with all of you, and know that we all belong exactly as we are.
Well, thank you all, and we'll see you again for episode 11.
This has been a podcast from Planet B, where free range means actually free. If you haven't moved here yet, we thank you for visiting.
Hey
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
So
Thank you for being here. We have a special bonus tonight, a short video update of one of the projects presented at VCOP 23, Ubuntuverse with Abhinav Ubuntu.
I will also share my screen. Do I have permission to share my screen?
Yes, you do.
I can. Okay. Okay. So I'll come to that screen, I'm going to show a few things, what we have been doing. So first of all, I'm so happy that even last I met to this group, I was given an opportunity to talk about Ubuntuverse as a quick pitch. And I must have done something right that later on I got to know that I was selected as one of those projects who will be given love, kindness, support from all the people. And I think that energy has definitely worked because for past 2 months, we have been doing some amazing, beautiful work. I was just, let me, because some people may not know me still. So I'm Abhinav Ubuntu. I am from India, but I live in my body. So wherever I go with my home and I call it my own body. And with this body, I try to spread love, kindness, and teach through my actions. Of course, my words also play the role, but more of those actions if I can show what kindness and compassion means. And I happen to given the chance by the universe to start this community called Ubuntuverse, which is growing like how you put a tree as a seed, and then when you take care of that tree, that seed, it grows leaf by leaf, branch by branch. That is what Ubuntuverse is all about. And if you come to this website of Ubuntuverse, I love how our volunteers have designed the logo and animation. I'm going to refresh the page so that you see what I love seeing every time when the page opens. This one. If you see, this is like love growing layer by layer once more. And then in the center is you. Because you are the solution, you are the love, you are the key to everything what we are trying to solve. And at Ubuntuverse, that's what we do. We are building a community, global community of purpose-driven superhumans. Started from India, but as I don't see any borders, I see the planet Earth, one blue dot, and we have to cover that. We have to make sure that every heart is touched, every life is saved, every part of the nature is preserved. So that's where we are growing towards. And how we do it with several various programs. We have the most beautiful program, which I think Ubuntuverse is offering to the world, is Find My Why. And I think some of you are already part of it, or you have done the program. So you know what kind of program this is. Basically, this is where we activate people towards their purpose of life, because we all are born with why. Inspired by Mark Twain's quote that there are only two important days in your life: the day you are born and the day you find out why. So Find My Why program is that key is that activation place where that why is activated or reminded or grown. Some people come with a why already, and then the why grows there, becomes more beautiful, more powerful, more aligned, because it's a forever exploring, growing journey with your why. But it starts with when you know your why. And that program we have been doing. So uh, right now we are running batch number 24. Around 200 people from around the world are part of that batch. We are doing that batch India time, Europe time, and two of the time zones in the US, EST and PST, run managed by our super volunteers who are putting so much heart and love into that. So that program is happening, and this is just a poster of the program. We're building purpose-driven superhumans, and I think this program has really grown into something much more powerful than I ever thought. Because I used to run this program in India for a small group of people, but one day it will be touching hearts of people from around the world, where from 12-year age till 90-year age, all these people from several age, experiences, ethnicity, there is no boundary who should do this program. Everybody should attend this program once, and that is not me telling. People who have done, they are telling that we have to let everybody go through this program so that you know your why. Right now batch 24 is going on, so that is a beautiful thing, because this program was too big and too advanced, I think, and we needed something for teenagers. So there's a version which is a shorter version. So the Find My Why is 21 days, and this one is 7 days, a week-long program, which is for teenagers. This program is still in a very younger stage. We have only run 4 times this program, and maybe in this year we will make it reach to more schools and colleges where the teenagers are there, right? Veganus Academy is a beautiful gift from Guntuwas to the world, because we, especially climate healers, and we all are here. Most of us, I think, are already vegans or on their journey to be a better vegan, because it's a journey again. There's no ending to the journey how to be a better vegan. But this academy plays a pivotal role for the journey of you being a better vegan, a better human, rather than say, because vegan is not a label. Vegan is just one of those good things you do. Being vegan is just one of those good things you do as part of your human journey. It's about being a better human. And as a vegan, what you can do, how can you bring your voice out, how you can change somebody's life, how can you save more animals. So we do this program. Dr. Sailesh Rao is one of the key speakers there. And that program has touched life of 500 activists till now. And the next batch is starting in February. That is beautiful. We have a Wellness Academy, which is a combination of whys of people who have these different skill sets. When we talk about wellness of somebody, like Hema Gopi is a nature cure person who understands how nature works. When we have talked about healing, Dr. Austin is an MBBS doctor who uses the science of medicine in curing people. Dr. Vijaya Brahma is a scientist who understand molecular biology, who understand how molecules work. We have who else is there? We have Chef Nilima, she is like a magician who creates beautiful dishes which you will never understand that they are whole food plant based and they have no bad ingredients inside them, but still they look good, they taste good, they smell good. She is very creative. Rachna is a psychologist who is helping people to have better mental health, and some more volunteers who keep transforming. But this program is only available for people who finish Find My Why, because we believe, rather than we know, not believe, we know that unless until you don't know your why, any kind of information, knowledge will not become your habit, it will become part of your life. Because when why is not clear, you know things, what is right, you know what is wrong, but still you are not able to align yourself with that, how to live, what to do, because of the why is missing. So Find My Why program is the starting point, because then this program becomes so easy for anybody to understand why we need to be whole food plant based, why we need to align with the nature, why we need to understand why our mind and body are one ingredient, like they work together, all that. So that's this program, Wellness Academy, is starting next batch for 30th January, end of this month. And we have meetups, And we have had some amazing meetups. I was actually on that screen when I started. So we have had some amazing big meetups because year end, everybody wanted to make it special. This the biggest one happened in Delhi where more than 100 people or around 100 people came together. Just one glimpse of them celebrating this moment. And another city, Mumbai, where they also celebrate this event. I think it's not loading, but it's okay. Basically, we have these 15, 16 cities, and all these cities, they meet together and then they um, come together and they try to bring vegan food, love, compassion, kindness. And we had some great celebrations to end 2025 with gratitude, with love in all the cities. And I saw a lot of Ubuntu shout outs and love and photos and images. I was full with love. So we did those events there, and they are growing. New cities are getting approached to be started very soon, maybe next year. We have completed by Find My Wala last year 23 batches because 24th batch started on 5th of January. We have completed 13. Actually, we have completed 14th Vegans Academy also. We will update it because the 15th one is starting in February. Of course, we have touched many lives. I stopped counting and I don't want to count because 8 billion people have to be this. So why to count? Just keep doing the work. Teen programs have been done, meetups. Again, we stopped counting how many meetups. But of course, if we just easy multiply 15 cities every month, 12 months, and then 3 years, you will see that's around 300 plus meetups have been done. And these are some of the images from our potluck meetups where people have come together. We have a beautiful community in Kazakhstan. They've been meeting together every month. Ahmedabad, we have Goa, Odisha, Indore, Kerala, Mumbai, Kolkata. These are the thing. But I think you will be more interested into this photo, I think. The food, which looks colorful, vegan, healthy, kind, compassionate plates, meals made by people, for the people, made with love, keeping the heart on the right amount of portion as an ingredient. Kindness is one of the ingredient. So we have these things. Anybody can start Ubuntu community, but you have to complete Find My Why program before that. Also, because we are on social media and we have been trying, because youth is on social media and you cannot reach to them standing on the street anymore, because even if you stand on the street where the youth are passing, if you notice carefully, their bodies are passing but their consciousness is in the phone. They are inside their phone. Their bodies are walking on that lane, but their attention is not on the lane. So you can stand there, you can try to scream your heart, but they will be not looking at us. So hence we have to go inside their phone. We have to go inside that space where their attention is there, and everybody is trying to capture their attention from social media. Why not us? We have a bigger mission. We must do it. So we are building content, and some content has done pretty good. Like for example, this one is doing 150,000 views, which we created a small content about the tea in India, how the tea is formed. And I've been talking about, so we use a lot of creativity. Like I act sometime to create some kind of content which are creative and capturing people's attention. Some content do pretty good. This one was doing very good, 6,000 views. When we identified that there are 3 types of people: vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and not vegan, thinkitarian. Because vegan is not in the category of vegetarian or non-vegetarian diet. Thinkitarian, vegan is a lifestyle. Vegan is a bigger picture. A thinkitarian, somebody who thinks before eating, and that term was well accepted by many people. So we have been making many content, and content has become one of those strongest medium to reach people. And this year we are going to scale this even more. We are collaborating with people and doing some crazy content work. And also, I think this is the last update from my side. Every year as a community, whatever we do, we finish the year by Happy Summit, a 7-day long summit where we come together. And I think there were around 50 to 60 members who were attending this program. And all of us came together to summarize our 2025. How was the year with the best learnings, gratitude, reflections, and initiate 2026 together by designing our happy versions. So we created a happy version, and I was so fortunate to have people like Dr. Arun Sharma, who is very well known in the nature cure space. We had Ken. I think you know Ken, who's 90, but his enthusiasm and his energy is of 9-year-old. Sharing Harshad, who is again 80 plus, and he shared on abundance. We had Manisha talking about people, relationship. We had Claremont, I think you know her, Dr. Claremont. She was talking about how to build a personal mastery on your day, how your day becomes your and under your control. Basically, you are not in the control of the day is in the control of you. And then we had a last part of that whole happy program by Dr. Sailesh Rao himself, who inspired everybody, empowered everybody to find your calling, find your dharma, and do this. And then we had conclusion, and we concluded this whole Happy Summit. And now this Happy Summit was so successful that we have uploaded all the recording on our YouTube channel called Ubuntu Words. Anybody can see this all. So it's just 7 hours of investment of anybody, and you will have a wonderful, happy version for you to look forward. And we wanted to make it a free, because all the programs I talked about, they are all free for anybody, because they are supposed to make you free. They're supposed to make animals free. They are supposed to make the world free. Hence, nobody can put any charges on them. That is all from my side as in what we have been doing. Maybe some more things, but highlights are these. And looking forward for 2026. And if you have any questions from me or any comments for me, 2026 is going to be the biggest year for Ubuntuverse, because we are better organization. We know better because we have done a lot of good activities which have only taught us and given us a bigger community, more people, so that this year becomes the biggest year for Ubuntuverse. And also, Vegan World 2026 is also our goal. So we are together in that. We'll make Vegan World 2026, no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just love it. And I think especially with living in these times, but maybe living in any time. But once we start becoming aware of so much suffering, we need a way to continue to be happy and connect with people. So I'm just thrilled about the program, and I hope it spreads. And I think the community part is one of the things that we're lacking, and you seem to have found a way to do that. How do you just encourage people to invite people over for dinner, or how do you do that?
Yeah, so exactly what you said. I found that we were doing everything right, but one thing which was we were not doing it right or not doing enough was building communities. Because and I have like read, experienced by myself, and I think I can say this statement now without any doubt, that if we do not build communities, we will not create a vegan world. Because we are a social animals, and we cannot survive without a community. It's an ingredient which is life saving. It's a life force. And if veganism continue being a solo journey of anybody, that you go vegan and you live solo and you stand for animals solo, we will see the downfall of people, just because of the natural reason of who we are as a design of human. Okay. And because the design of human thrives in the community, we have to make it as top 3 priorities to build communities, but also very conscious how we are building communities. Because it's not that community building was not happening, but it was happening again that only vegans meet vegans. And that is not the full-fledged community. The community means everybody is welcome and everybody will be accepted as they are. But of course, when you are part of the community, together we grow and we share. But first we have to open all the gates. Let the people come there and create a happy community. Which community people go through? The one who is factually right? No, the one which is fun. People want fun. People want positivity. People want something where they can be happy. They don't care if this community has more facts right and more data right and a bigger mission they are holding. If it is not fun, I'm not going to join. So what we started doing, Rebecca, to your answer, we started building fun communities. The communities which meet and don't talk about serious stuff, how many animals are suffering and what, let's see these videos of animals suffering. Let's first have the food. Food is, everybody likes food. Let's have amazing array of dishes brought by everybody. Let's eat like there's no tomorrow. Okay, all vegan food, of course. And then let's talk about whatever topic is the highlight. Let's talk about any topic which is right now highlight. Of course, the topic has to be something which is to bring the world better. For example, in the month of Pride Month, we talk about LGBTQ as a topic. In the month of rain or climate, like when the weather is changing, we talk about the weather. We talk about in the cities where the water is a problem, we talk about that problem. We are inclusive on any problem statement or anything which we want to talk about. But also we play games, we go out, we sit in the park, and then people have different fun, and we share stories. And so fun community united with kindness and compassion is the key, which I have realized, and we build that. And when people come once, they see fun, they see food, you don't have to invite them again. They accept invitation before you give them. They ask us, when's the next one? Where is it happening? So that's what we have been doing, and we have been improvising, learning. So this year we will be doing it, we will making it more fun, more inclusive than it was last year. And we have some 60 purpose-driven volunteers who are the keys for each local cities, who hold the space, because some people are required to manage and organize things. If you don't organize and manage these beautiful concepts, then they just remain on the piece of paper. So we have these volunteers who are driven with why. So they are Find My Why Luminize. Their why is very clear, and they do all the plannings, the location, the date, the space, what the food. They also help people in quantity of the food and managing that. Not everybody is bringing bread, not everybody is bringing rice, not everybody is bringing curry. There is a enough division of that. There is enough fruits and enough desserts and enough curries and enough breads, and everything is like divided. So we have organizing it like a full time. But the beauty of it, these people who are doing this, they're doing it for free, because they know in the heart that this is the moment for me to build a better world and this opportunity. So they don't, like, if I ask the same kind of requirement from a consultant or a company who does this, they will charge me a lot of things for organizing everything. They'll give me people and they'll give me a whole thing. But these people do like professional event organization with the driving force of only one thing: let's bring a vegan world, let's bring the kindness to everybody else, let's make world where everybody is on a journey of veganism, at a different journey, but everybody is on the journey of veganism. So yeah, that's how we are doing it, with love, kindness.
Thank you so much. And I think we have time for one more question. Brittany?
Hi, Brittany.
So many questions. So it's hard to just ask one, you know?
Ask one now, and then we'll talk one-to-one after this.
That's what I was thinking, just having one. The one is, how much do you feel the VCOP 23 contributed to your project success?
How much COP23 contributed in my success of Ubuntu?
Yeah, the VCOP 23, the last one.
So I think mainly what it contributed was that we got a global platform to present the model. I do not have exact that if something happened because of COP in last 2 months, which I can directly relate to. But what happens now, I believe in the larger model of universe. Okay, and I see each event is happening. If you are aligned with your why, compassion, kindness, each event is happening in order to bring you closer to that goal. And that event, I think, because I could talk to people from around the world, and that was, I think, not many times we have got this platform. So I'm sure some people have got Ubuntuers, and as we keep meeting, there are, the portals are opening, and we don't know what will happen when I can directly correlate this happened because of this. But I believe that what happened was the right thing for Ubuntuers, and that gave me confidence, that gave me that energy which I utilized for doing whatever I did in the last 2 months, because I was so confident that, now more people know me. So I have bigger responsibility to do better. So there are a lot of tangible or the universal energy work which happened with that VCOP. But exactly somebody I talked to and that person reached out to me and they did this, that has not happened yet. But I'm sure we are on that connection. But talking about that, I think there is a beautiful connection happening, which I am still not counting as big, is that Find My Why has reached very swiftly to US time zone by Allison and Ken, who has been hosting this, and they are Climate Healers part. They were before the COP23, they were hosting Louise. But I think something happened because they told me last batch, they had the maximum participation from the US. The batch which is going right now, which was after VCOP. So maybe there was a relation that me talking to people, more people listening to me kind of created some interest and some connection that more people joined this Find My Way Batch 24 from the Climate Healers community, which I'm so excited about. And I hope that I can do justice to that trust they have put on me. So I'm trying my best. I'm nervous also.
Wonderful.
I think there is something about the VCOPs being around the, well, the Climate Healers is in the U.S., so they do, a lot of the VCOPs is kind of, well, at least in the past, wasn't the VCOP 23 kind of in the U.S. time zone or something, if I remember correctly? Yeah, so I think that might be it. So this time, VCOP's different, where they did the night and the day one, where it's supposed to encompass all, which is really good. But I think the last one, it's very hard to remember in the past, but I think it had to do with American time zone. So that, I see the connection, is what you're saying.
Thank you, Brittany.
Okay, Britta, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Abhinav, so much for coming on tonight. And so we'll be in touch again. Thank everyone for coming. Oh, Carol, did you want to say something or just?
I do.
Yes, go right
I
ahead.
do,
Hi.
BJ. Hi, Abhinav. I
Hi,
just
Carol.
want to say hello because I am in this batch of Find My Why. I'm doing it. Yeah,
Hello.
invited by Allison, and so it's just really fun to be able to have you here and meet you in person, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah, because we're just seeing you on that little video, you know. So
Yes.
thank you. I just want to thank you for your path, for your journey, for your giving of self, for all that you're doing for our world. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Carol. You have
Very
just
welcome.
given me a little more energy and kindness towards to me, so that I will continue doing what I'm doing. So thank you
Yes.
for those
Yes.
words. You have filled me with little more. My battery was 80%. You have filled me to 90%.
I'm
Thank you
so glad
for
to hear that,
choosing
Abhinav.
to
Yeah.
share that.
Yeah. See you tomorrow
Carol.
morning.
See you. See you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The house is burning, but we're still sitting in the glow. Phones charged, lights on, pretending we don't know. But the forest is silent, the river's running low, and the flame on our plates is the strongest fire we throw. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. 7 boundaries broken, the earth pushed past the line. Climate, land, species, fresh water, chemicals. nutrients, oceans in decline, not danger, disaster in real time. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Metafoodians rise, this is your power. And here in India, one truth stands the same. Milk is not just milk, dairy feeds the flame. Cows and methane, fields and forests turn to grain. Politics, culture, carbon, all wired to the same chain. Every cup of curd is heat in the air. Every block of butter is a forest repair. It's not a small habit, it's a planetary affair. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Ecos and rise, this is our hour. Energy fixes half the hurt, Dr. Rao made that clear. But food fixes the other half, the half that's burning here. Change the plate, change the land, change the future's atmosphere. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Metafoodians unite, this is your choir. Every millet, every fruit, every sapseed, every bean is water on the wildfire of a world we've never seen. Every oil-free bite is a river turning clean. This is not perfection, it's direction. Not pressure, but protection. A week of choices can cool a generation. A company's courage can ignite a nation. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Ecos and rise, this is your hour. Metafoodians unite, Metafoodians ignite, sharing love in the meta zone, light in the path to a cooler home. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Together we rise, together we inspire.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
night.
you, BJ. Oh, hi, Sailesh.
Look who's here.
You're right.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? And we're still recording in live. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, good.
This is my room in Mumbai.
Where are you? Did you get? Where are you right now?
I'm in Mumbai, India,
Okay.
and I rented this room so I can sit and finish writing my guide to a planet B.
But your travels are over? You got
Yeah,
back? Okay.
yeah, travels are over. At
Okay.
least for the next 2 weeks, they're over.
Good. Good. Good.
Well, we have been loving these podcasts.
Yes.
Good, good. I'm glad.
Yes. They've been wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow night.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Good night, all. Thank you so much, BJ.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you,
everybody.
everybody. You bet. Good night.